Yes, yeah, Mathieu. Okay,
thank you.
no.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
Yes.
it. I'm sure you heard this, the explanation of vote by Venezuela and also to some degree by Angola, saying that Venezuela said there should be human rights monitoring in MINURSO, as there is, he said, in other missions. He also said that the African Union, which is a partner to the Security Council on so many issues, should have been allowed to speak. So I wanted to know, during the pendency of this, there was, even the UN said that protesters were somehow injured in Laayoune. What's the problem with having human rights monitoring in MINURSO? And are you opposed to the Polisario Front, your interlocutor, speaking from this same microphone at which you've spoken so eloquently?
So
thank you.
You have many questions, my dear Mathieu. So let's start with human rights, as it has been raised by Venezuela. Is Venezuela the best example to talk about human rights? I let you guessing if they have any legitimacy to talk about human rights.
There are many groups that
You are talking about Venezuela. I'm saying, I'm just putting question. Are they have any legitimacy to talk about human rights? That's all. You are talking, your second question is?
The second question is African Union, which the UN works with on South Sudan on many issues. Why were they blocked from addressing the Council in this session? Go ahead.
It's not Morocco who opposed them. That's the sovereign decision by the Security Council. So if the member of the Security Council said, we cannot accept any precedent, the process is going on for more than 24 years. EU have never been there. And various practices, various principles. That's what happened. But if you ask me what's the position of Morocco, I will tell you that the EU cannot be judge and party. EU have already taken its decision, taken its side. They introduce or they integrate the so-called Polisario state. So they will come here to push the process, or they will come here to promote the Algerian and the Polisario ideas and positions. So as far as EU is taking this biased position, they have no legitimacy. They discredited their role and their contribution. All we are asking the EU is just to let the UN doing its work. Have you heard what the main countries in the Security Council just said a few minutes ago? They said that UN is the legitimate place to rule, to handle this issue. And they were insisting to protect the UN process. Last element to answer your question. Why, sir, just why the issue is now within the Security Council? Do you know, Mathieu? You don't know. It's only because the EU or OAU have failed in settling the problem. It's after the failure of the African Union that the issue have been sent to the Security Council. So now the EU is becoming toxic for this issue. We are not against the role of the EU in any other African issue, and we are cooperating with them. Morocco is backing any effort by international community or EU, but in the Sahara, they have no role, and they cannot play any role. The day they will freeze or suspend the Polisario, they can, and being neutral, they will be welcome, and we will give them our hand. As far, yeah, Celia. So let's. Mathieu.
Thanks a lot. As you spoke, two things came to mind. One is you were saying the African Union has made up its mind, so it shouldn't address the Council. Some people would say that, for example, about the European Union or others on the question of Kosovo, but they still speak. So I'm wondering, is that your view, that once a regional or other group has a mind, they shouldn't speak? Also, on the Independent Diplomat, they work for Syria, the Free Syrian Army, or the nonviolent opposition that I think your country supports. Are you against their role? Are you only against their work for Polisario, or are you against their work on the Syria question? And just finally, I wanted to ask you again, are you against the idea that your interlocutor in discussions can't speak at the UN microphone, although they're party to a UN facilitator talk? Hillary Clinton spoke here. Why can't they speak here?
Hillary Clinton is, yes, Hillary Clinton spoke here because she's a citizen of a state member of United States of America. You look at the flag. She is speaking behind this flag and under this flag, legitimacy of this flag. Polisario has no legitimacy. It's a separatist group. And I will ask you, please ask, when you see people of Polisario, which kind of badge they have, how they can get access to the UN. They are just as petitioner. And as petitioner, they don't have the right. They don't have the right to talk. Here is only for United States, for the UN member states, not for separatist group or not for non-state actor. This is your last question. Concerning the independent diplomat, they can advise that their work is advising. They do it outside the UN. They do it in Algeria mission. They do it in Polisario office. Any place, but not and never in the UN. And we will fight against that because we will do our best to make the rules of the UN apply to them because they have no privilege. You know, Mathieu, what they are doing? Because some of them have been working in some missions and some of them have been journalists here, like you. And now they are taking profit of their relationship and using this relationship to get inside. This is what I call also cheating, not respecting UN rules. What we are asking just the rules of the UN applied within the UN. That's all. Outside in First Avenue, they can do whatever they want, with whom they want.
Kosovo and the EU. What's the difference between the AU position on Western Sahara and the EU and Kosovo?
Every situation has its specificity and has its own dynamics. That's all. So, merci beaucoup.
Merci.
Au revoir, c'est moi.